Hi, I'm Sebastian Jones, and welcome to Stranger Comics. We're here at Rose City Comic Con. How did Stranger Comics get started? It got started around 2008, 2009, where we mainly focus on this fantasy world of Asunda. And the first book that we did was called The Untamed, but the most famous one is called Niobe, and Niobe is introduced in The Untamed. This world of Asunda I spent 30 years creating is really an inclusionary world. I didn't do this shit because it's a hashtag trending. It's very dear to my heart. But really the stories are very, very relatable on a very human level. The world is very big within the world of Asunda. But let me talk to you a little bit about The Untamed, where you first meet Niobe. So I ask a lot of questions with each book. This question is, would you damn your family to save the world? This is a story of a man who's stuck in purgatory, and after 10 years the devil comes along and he says, I'll give you 7 days to reap the 7 souls that murdered you and your family. And the guy says, well, sign me up, I have nowhere else to be. He takes a drifter's return to a one-horse town in a huge world. And as his memory comes back, he realized when he was alive, he was a bad man and maybe deserved to die. But now he's on a path to save his family. On his path of vengeance, he meets an elven girl called Niobe, and she reminds him of how old his murdered daughter would have been, giving him a second chance, how we men need to be a good man, a father, but he only has 7 days. The kicker is, what if she's one of the 7 souls he has to collect? And the devil set the whole thing up just to find her. Would you damn your family to save the world? Now, Niobe, we always ask other questions. This is, with the world divided, who do you turn to? And if this is the end, who will you be? So a lot of these stories are all about second chances and coming from vengeance to redemption and hopefully finding a little bit of salvation, right? Really preachy, but fuck it, it is what it is. That's Niobe Shear's death when we grow up and our armor of innocence is chipped away. Niobe Shear's death is a story about when Niobe becomes a badass bounty hunter hunting down sex traffickers and slave traders to reflect our own girls that get abducted. She becomes an icon. So we also tackle very real world issues. Erethune set in the Scandinavian part of our world. We work with Paizo to turn stuff into a playable Pathfinder role-playing game. Dusu is a story of Niobe's tribe. Just doesn't know it. So the world of Asunda started when I was probably about 14 years old. And I was playing a lot of D&D, a lot of live action role-playing, but I couldn't essentially, it was a pretty tough growing up in not seeing myself represent, you know, people say it a lot now, but back then it was a little bit different, 35 years ago, where I wanted to pour all of my inhibitions and my vulnerabilities and my wrath into a world that I could see myself in. And then I put all of those things onto Niobe's kind of winged shoulders, so she could really represent essentially the struggles that I was going through. And if she could make the fantasy world I was making a better place, maybe as I grew up, she could make our world a better place. So I mean, really, but that's real. I mean, that's really why I do this stuff. But played a lot of D&D, and it really helped essentially flesh out world building. How do you create worlds? How do you create languages? How do you create the balance of magic? The difference between essence and channeling and faith and spirit and the gods and the dragons. And you have all these wonderful big world stuff. And if you could go, say, this massive, massive world and distill it into very bite-sized stories that we can digest and see ourselves within these stories. That's really how it started and what the intention was for it. More books, more comic books, TV, games, the whole nine. My producing partner on the show that we're working on developing is Prentice Penny, who did this TV show Insecure on HBO. So I'm in good company. So continuing to build out the intellectual property without compromising the integrity of what we've created. So what you have here, guys, in short, is a Marvel Universe, DC Universe for fantasy with beautiful, relatable human tales with authentic characters and authentic representation. So welcome to the world of Asunda, Niobe the Untamed at Stranger Comics. Find us at Stranger Comics or strangercomics.com for all the good stuff. That's me, I'm Sebastian Jones.